Hey, what's up guys? Today I want to take a look at a game called Maestia, published by Gravity Interactive. What we're looking at right here is the character select screen, and I already have a character created. I've been messing around with this game a little bit, but we're going to create a fresh character. And there are two factions to this game. It looks like the faction on the left might be the closest thing to a good faction, and the faction on the right being the closest thing to sort of an evil faction. Although, I may be mistaken, but I believe that both of these factions, according to the lore, can actually be considered the good guys, but I don't believe I can even create anyone on this. Oh, okay, I can. Yesterday I wasn't able to do that. It told me I had to make a character on the left side. Alright, I want to go with a warrior this time. This will be fun just to see the difference between the two factions. Alright, I'm going to pick this guy here, just going to click OK. And here's the character customization. As you can see, you can choose between male and female. There's a pretty nice variety of different face options and tattoo options available. And I'm just going to play around. Oh, goodness, it's like a tribal face paint. Let's go without the tattoo. Let's take a look at all the different hairstyles. It looks like there are a number of different hairstyles to pick from, but we'll go with this one for the sake of this review. Leave everything else default. Create a random character name. And let's create character. Okay, wow, he looks a lot different than he did in the character select. Alright, let's log in. Alright, here's a cutscene actually. I'm just gonna skip this.
Unbeknownst to her.
And connecting within the game zone. Okay, it's a loading screen and it's fairly high quality. Shockingly, I believe I've started in the exact same place that my other character started. Okay, let's talk to this guy here, receive a quest, skip all this mess, complete that, skip all this. You know, I hate games that just start you off talking. Nobody really reads this junk. Nobody cares. You're just kind of running around talking to all these different people. I mean, right off the bat, I've got to say, this game kind of reminds me of Aeon a little bit, especially in terms of the interface and the hotbar icons and just the overall setting. If you've ever played Aeon, maybe you'll agree, but this really looks like perhaps the Elio's capital, this town here. So we're going to go over to, I believe, this person here, the general goods vendor.
Care to take a look?
We're going to talk to her. I'm going to receive a quest, skip all this mess, complete, skip close. Alright, I've leveled up already, wow, and I haven't even killed the first mob. Okay, well, when you level up, you actually can manually distribute your stat points. So, because I'm a warrior, I want to start off putting a lot of points in vitality. So I'm going to max out my vitality. I'm going to click the button. The button that you click to save your stat points is actually called, actually says transfer, which it took me a little while to figure out what that meant when I first played. I thought that was kind of a strange name to give. I thought it should have said something like confirm or submit rather than transfer. But anyway, I can actually, a lot of the quests that you complete in this game, you can actually just you can complete them as soon as you finish. You press the Z key, which brings up this little guy here who you're praying to, and he talks to you, and because I'm skipping all of this text here, I have absolutely no idea what he's trying to tell me, but I don't really think that matters. So anyway, I'm going to leave town, and we're going to go out and kill some things now. And there's one thing that I noticed in my limited time playing this game is it's very fast paced. You're constantly doing quests, moving, killing one thing, then killing another thing. You don't tend, at least not during the time that I've played it, you really don't tend to stay in the same place too long. Kinda reminds me of Terra in that regard. And also something else I kinda noticed, I would imagine in the YouTube video it's very difficult to see, but if you see that little sword icon right next to my name, my class icon, that really reminds me of the class icons used in Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it looks very similar. And a lot of times, I've noticed with a lot of these free-to-play games, they kind of copy things from other more popular games, and that wouldn't surprise me a bit if they didn't copy that from Final Fantasy XIV. So, complete this quest here, and see what else I have to do after I talk to this guy. And I like how you have a little arrow over your head that tells you where to go, in addition to your mini-map having a little red area there which details where you have to go for your quests. And you can hit the M key to bring up your map, which also shows you the same thing as your mini-map, except for in a wider area. I gotta kill these prairie wasps now, and while I'm doing that, I want to compliment this game on its graphics. It's not exactly the most beautiful free-to-play game I've ever played, but it's still a pretty nice-looking game. And it runs fairly well. Now, one thing you may have noticed just watching the video, and one thing I certainly noticed playing the game, is it really doesn't seem like there's a lot of people playing. In town, which thus far is the only town that I've seen, I don't know if there are other larger towns in the game, but the first town, you would think that there would at least be some new players, or some other players, but there's usually only about 2 or 3. Well, as you can see, I leveled up again, so I'm going to distribute my talent points once again. I want to put a couple of points in strength. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put all my points in strength. I'm going to click the transfer button. And I'm level 4, and now I have access to my skill tree. So I click this little button here on the left, and it brings up my skill tree. And looking at this, if you're like me, you think this confuses the hell out of you. So I'm not even going to attempt to read a lot of this. I'm just going to take a look at some of this and maybe put some random points in for the sake of this review, so it wouldn't take me all night to try to explain the skill tree. However, just looking at it, I think that they could have done a better job setting the skill tree up to where it wasn't quite so convoluted. So I'm going to click the Learn button, and I can pull up my skills list by using the K key, which shows all the different skills and abilities that my character has. Now I'm going to turn in that quest I just did. And I'm going to complete this, skip this, and accept, skip, close. Alright, now I've got to go kill some more monsters. And also, one of the major selling points of this game, and something I actually had a little bit of experience with last night on a different character, was that you can go into there are several dungeons in the game, and all of the dungeons have, I believe, 2 difficulty modes. They have a normal mode and sort of like a hard mode. Hard mode is higher level. I don't know for sure if it's all in-game, but I do know it's higher level content. Normal mode is definitely on-level content. And for normal level dungeons, they are designed to be completed with a group. However, the game has a mercenary system, not unlike what you'd see in maybe Guild Wars, where you can hire out another NPC to join your party and help you complete the dungeon. And I actually completed the entire first dungeon with a tank mercenary on my first playthrough. As you can see, I just leveled up again, and that just goes to show you that you really level up pretty fast initially in this game. Again, I can't really tell you how fast you'll level up in the end, but you're certainly off to quite a running start. And also, you might be thinking right now that this game already feels a little bit repetitive, and it certainly does. I'm just kind of doing the same old things over and over and over again, and it does get a little old. The good news is the fast pace of the game keeps you moving, and you're never in the same place, so you're always looking at new things and going to new places, and that works to this game's advantage, because I'm not sure that when the leveling slows down and I'm actually having to stay in one spot for a long period of time, I'm not sure if this game is really going to appeal to me all that much. And I can kind of see why maybe there's not that many people playing it. It just really... It's high quality for a free-to-play game. I mean, I've played a lot worse. Believe me. You can do a lot worse in terms of playing a free-to-play game than playing Maestia. However, it's just not that not that good either. Nothing about Maestia, in my opinion, stands out and makes me say, I want to play this game over all the other free-to-play games out there. There's just too many really good, high-quality free-to-play games on the market today to really warrant somebody giving a serious look at a game like Maestia. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm simply saying that it's very mediocre. And also, from what I understand, just sort of looking around on some message boards, Maestia has actually already been released. I don't know if Gravity Interactive published the game or if it was a different publisher. But from what I understand, Maestia has actually already been released and was subsequently shut down for whatever reason. And because I really don't see that many players running around, at least not in comparison to some of the very popular free-to-play games out there, I do wonder for this game's future. And I think it's a shame because I don't have any problem with this game. I just don't think it's... I just think it'd be very difficult to stand out in the face of all the stiff competition. When so many high-quality pay-to-play games are now going free-to-play, pay-to-play or free-to-play only games, such as Maestia, really have to do more to stand out in the crowd than to simply be quest grinders or mob grinders. You have to do something and separate yourself, differentiate yourself from the crowd, and you also have to be a very high quality. Maestia is definitely high quality, but it still feels somewhat cheap, and you can definitely tell it's one of the classic, it's just a classic free-to-play MMORPG. A lot of elements in this game feel stolen or ripped off of other MMOs. It feels, again, I'll say again, it sort of feels like a poor man's Aeon. But again, to say, it's worth a shot. It's a free download. I definitely recommend it. If you're like me, you're going to want to play all these MMOs that come out, so give it a shot, and tell me what you think in the comments below. So, if you like my videos, don't forget to rate and subscribe, but I'll talk to you guys later.